Shoddy, we got to work on your reading comprehension. That's not what the title says. It's okay. I'm perishing. I'm dying. The general's fine. This music's for me. This is my vibe. This is what's keeping me alive. Eating pizza, fair enough. I guess. Where the fuck is my other foot tracker? Or am I sitting on it? It must be around here somewhere. Did I drop it? Oh, I did drop it. I'm trying. Uh, all right, we're here now for real. Hey, General. I'm the General. That's me. That's me.
Especially if you don't know. You want the weird answer, you lose your own. in a sense. In my training, one of my CEOs said you had to think of yourself as dead. It makes it a whole lot easier. If you still have that hope, you freeze up. Pretty pessimistic in my opinion, but
Right.
how else can you really get that point across?
Some shit came up. Right. So yes, 5 years ago, there was an arrest on a proto-arms user regarding a series of assassinations, one of which was apparently the head of a very important local family.
Any details on this? What happened? Perhaps how they got a hold of this? How they even knew?
We gotta fucking get some music on. So we could just get our coffee in there, but that's boring. I like to go to this machine over here.
How it was like to have a headache in the morning? This place must be kind of heaven for you, Rico. There's a lot more water here than there was in Vendel. It's too lilac, not so comfortable.
We're set. Too bad that's not gonna wake me up, because I am fucking exhausted, guys. Admittedly, I do feel a little bit like I'm dying. Hence the title. I have been, for context, for anyone who doesn't know, for the last every day since I've been home from TwitchCon. I got home the night of the 24th. I have been, up until yesterday, bedridden. I was in bed, asleep 90% of the time, until I finally forced myself to stay up yesterday for like 12 hours. Make sure we're in the military comms.
interest in this particular thing. Seems like maybe you haven't been super upfront with me.
Perhaps not.
I'll let them handle it. Fuck it. Yeah, I am getting a little bit better. I really need to get. It doesn't matter if I'm not feeling well or not because I need to get Rosewood stuff done in the next 2 days. So doesn't really matter how well I'm feeling. I need to work on Rosewood stuff tonight and tomorrow and get that done. In character news, the Forge Breaker has not been seen in 2 weeks. So we probably injured him, or we can assume as well that we might have killed him. But then we probably would have found a body is the only confusing part. We haven't found a body, right? I did receive, I think I had a doc that I received while I was asleep from someone, which is actually really useful to me. It wasn't for me, but it was military questions asked by someone else. So I actually have a bunch of information I can use. I can just pull this up if people ask these questions. Oh my god. Hey.
Ooh.
Sorry, you knocked right as I was walking to the door. I didn't expect to see you there.
It happens.
Afternoon.
Afternoon. I got a trouble for you for something, a little favor.
Well, it depends on what it is, but we can probably help.
I just need some papers.
What? Exactly.
There was a proto-arms case about 5-ish years ago regarding a sniper.
All right.
Running back through a bunch of old Warden records and can't seem to find that one. I was wondering if you guys had a copy. I know you were pretty involved with that.
I mean, it was before my time as general. I was honestly not even that far into the military when that happened. Sounds familiar, though, so I'm sure we have... Well, I can't guarantee we have anything.
I'm sure there's going to be some report somewhere.
Ask up here.
Yeah, I'm not expecting it to be a right now thing, but probably over the next couple days.
Of course. I'll mention it up here. What the fuck is the difference? Where do cans go?
You can at least keep rhythm, right?
I think this is usually trash. I think that's usually recycle.
Blue, yeah, probably.
It's blue. Blue's nice and friendly.
I gotta stop.
Like recycling.
Yeah.
I
gotta do the general who recycles, yeah.
Yeah.
You, me, and Hora, we're gonna be the harbingers of the rock and roll future.
What is that even?
Said sniper 5 years ago, proto-arms user.
It's a new beginning.
Yeah.
Forever.
Alright. Well, I'm sure we can... Hey! You seem to have been handling, paperwork for that and other... What were they asking about? I didn't want to.
Just more folk coming by and being like, oh, I might have a hunch on something we can do for tracking down the breaker, and making me tippy tap at the computer.
Yeah, well, I'm assuming you're. Yeah, I mean, it could be anything, but like realistically, if it was something in what we had in our resources, we probably would have found it already. But don't know if it's related or
You'd be
not.
surprised.
But he's looking for some records. You might not be able to get them today. Proto-arm user.
Yeah, looking for there was a incident regarding a proto-arms user 5 years ago. It was a sniper.
With a
Would you
sniper,
look
huh?
at that, Walsh? Was that
Yeah,
the
would
same
you look
records
at
that you brought up?
that? Might be the same records I just brought up.
Oh, so it looks like one of the
Oh.
warden candidates over there was looking for the same thing. Cat
All right,
ears,
were
cat
you guys
girl.
able to find it?
Yeah, a few things. Like I said to them, a lot of the specific documentation is a little scattered because it happens to deal with a certain powerful local family that tends to have things.
Oh, when does it not?
But we got some basic information.
Okay. If you'd be able to get me a copy of that over the next couple days, I'd appreciate it. I can
Yeah,
swing
I
by
can
over the week.
Yeah, I'll see about getting you a copy of that and some of the more notable information that we can acquisition.
All right. I appreciate it.
Well,
I think that should be all for my end. So you guys take it easy, stay safe.
Yeah,
We'll
you
figure out
too.
the breaker stuff when we figure it out.
Well, we're working on it.
Later.
yep.
Let's hope he's dead.
Take it easy.
What about you, boss? You know how to play an instrument?
Never been really much of a musical guy.
Fucking hell, everyone here only knows how to play piano, nothing else. Fuck.
Yeah, I never really got into that. I sort of went straight into the whole. More of a sports guy, I guess.
I mean, I used to be a fucking, fitness instructor, so I get it. But, like, you still gotta get a little soul in you, huh?
I mean, sure, it's nice. It just, I kind of went whole, what's the word? Like, I want to help people and jump straight from, school straight into the academy and then,
There's no better way to help people than music, man.
I mean, sure, on a certain level. I would argue, though, that we're probably helping people, as military, and the wardens are probably helping people, just realistically speaking, a little bit more than music.
No, you gotta be ready for the rock and roll future, or you'll be left behind.
The rock and roll future.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a bold new movement. It's coming.
I believe you, and I'll believe it even more when I see it. I mean, again, I'm all for music.
Bring the end times.
No point in fighting if there isn't music to fight for, but also there's no music if we're not fighting.
No, it'll fix everything, and it'll bring the end of all things. That's the way it goes.
Bro? Yeah, you know what? I'm sure people would appreciate that. I'm sure that people will be on board with that. It's the future, yeah.
Future.
Is he okay? What was that about?
I don't know. He's been like that since this morning at the bakery. He was trying to get the reporters in on it to make a band or something. He wants me to be the drummer.
I feel like we need to focus on other things, no offense.
I wake him up by kicking him off the table in the lobby.
Like,
this morning.
Okay.
So I think he had just a rough night and he's still recovering. So
Yeah, maybe a really weird dream. Okay, I mean, fuck it. But hey, if he wants to start a band in his off time, by all means. I mean, that'd boost morale. That'd be. It's not a bad thing. It's just maybe off duty. Keep it to off duty.
In his like own time, not when he's working though.
Yeah, something he can do in his own time when he's not drinking his ass off. Oh well. I'm gonna go on patrol. You gonna stay behind the desk today? I don't really know.
I'm clearing up some stacks of papers, some request forms, things like that, just confirming that they've been put through properly.
Right. Fair enough. All right. I'm gonna go on patrol. I'll be back in a little bit. Do my rounds. The fuck's he doing? Hey, let me know if you see anything weird from that new guy we got a couple weeks ago. Hat, mustache, like.
Do you want a list? Because it's already been a lot.
Yeah, just you know what, keep an eye on it and let me know if it gets out of hand. He was talking about starting a band.
He kind of like lightly harassed one of the bartenders the other night, like pretty blatantly. So.
Oh, yeah, we'll
It was talking some nonsense. Talking shit about like a world spirit or something in the middle of a bar with a bunch of people. It was
Oh,
wild.
dear God. Okay, yeah, I might have to do something
yeah.
about that. All right, well, just, if you, yeah. You, see something, say something, I suppose. Just let me know or let someone know that isn't him.
Do. I'll keep that in mind.
Yeah, don't want him making a bad, everything.
I will give them higher consideration.
Yep.
It's a start. It's a start.
It's never going to happen.
Say that out loud. You're only going to encourage it.
What if I just put on a white shirt under this? Would that work? Would that count? It's different.
Can you do it with an emblem at least?
Pick him up and carry him there right now.
Anyone can do that. I'm really light.
I don't
can hold
think
you by the
Bun
scruff
and
of
I
your neck
could.
like a kitten.
I know you could. What?
I don't believe Bun and I could pick you up.
I do not weigh much at all. You definitely weigh more than I do.
Here's my chair in real life. There it is. Ugh. Don't want to fall now.
Just sit.
I love sitting.
He's drunk or high in character right now, and I cannot tell. It also might just be the fact that I think Apocalypse Cop over there, the guy playing Terry, he might just be really high off pain medication because he was like because he wasn't going to come to session. He might just be high out of character from pain medication by accident, which is kind of also really funny if that's why he's acting strange. Oh man. But I doubt that's it. But that would be really funny. Probably just Terry Walsh being a fucking lunatic. You know, fucking Disco Elysium motherfucker.
It is what Mr. Terry called you.
Terry, stop calling me that. You're confusing people.
No,
Oh, we're
absolutely
not
not.
confused.
I love confusing people. Okay. I'm a detective. It's almost part of the job description.
Excuse me. I'm dying right now, guys. I'm sweating. It's so hot, but my body is just, ugh. Also, I don't know if I said earlier, but thank you, Anish, for the resub. I appreciate it. Reminder, guys, it is the end of September. If you want to support me in any way on Twitch and you want to subscribe, this would be the last 2 days to do it. Pretty much. Like, if you want to support me in any way. Also, subscribers get a sneak peek at RP stuff. So, for example, I just posted Murtesh Season 4 in the subscriber chat. Hi, Nebula. Welcome. If you guys want to see early sneak peeks, then fucking subscribe. And I post early shit. I post little spoilers that I don't want people to see before streams, usually in there, once in a while. Like, I was posting this fucker the entire time I was working on him in there, and getting, like, opinions and thoughts and stuff. Because I like to keep it a surprise for most people, but I want to also, like, get thoughts and get opinions and, you know, talk to the community. So if you want to see the totally real, actual Murder Season 4 model, not a gaslight several months in the making, you should subscribe and go look in the chat. I definitely will be using that exact model with those exact features on it at the start of Season 4. And I totally won't be hitting a toggle as soon as session starts to the actual look of the model. Don't know if you guys are picking up what I'm putting down. These are sharp. I see they're sharp, not like my character can fucking feel it. I just had a really interesting idea that I think I can tie this together with the Forge Breaker stuff really well. I need a message DMs about. We shall see. Very pretty map from Tales of something, I think, and they just edited it. Reinhold Station. Officer?
I missed it. There was something I failed to mention to you when you came in.
What's up?
Those fellows from Ashbourne are out and about today. Just to let you know.
Scientists?
Yes.
Understood. I'll keep an eye out. Make sure they, if you see them, just, you know, make sure they're not disturbing anyone. I guess they can be here, as far as I'm aware. But, and I should be the one aware, so I'm not too worried about it. But if they start fucking with people's stuff, then we're gonna have a problem.
Of course.
Just make sure they're not breaking in anywhere, touching people's stuff, harassing anyone. The usual. Treat them like any likely suspect.
If not for us, I mean, definitely have a very competent tailor over here as well. Pretty sure she can also assist.
Yeah.
I mean, would you want to? There's like two of you. Is there like a protocol for who I should go to first?
Got the hearing stand out again. Interesting. Reinhold. Excuse me.
Hello, Commander.
Hey.
How are you doing?
Doing all right. Just doing my morning, afternoon patrols.
I think it's noon. I can't tell though.
Yeah, I slept in a bit today.
I had to ask myself. That's
Late
understandable.
nights.
Uh,
Yeah. How are you doing as well, candidate?
I'm doing good. Did I don't know if one of your guards, soldiers, informed you about the scientists.
I was just informed, yeah, there's the Ashbourne scientists wandering around again today. I'm keeping an eye on it. Yeah, and colors and all that.
They were, well, if it gives you any sort of more clues, they were asking students specifically.
Interesting.
Like where we were living, where we were staying, our dorms.
They say why?
I called in a professor. No, they didn't state why.
Yeah, they didn't do that either when I asked them what the fuck they were up to before. Right, I mean, they're free to do what they want as long as they're not, committing
causing
problems, committing crimes. I just said to the officers, make sure they're not breaking in anywhere, make sure they're not harassing people, make sure they're not stealing things, the usual you would suspect of anyone who isn't supposed to be here.
Professor, I called on a professor to help us with the situation. Dusk might know a little bit more, as he was the one who was talking to them more.
Right.
Dusk did tell me not to talk to the scientist because he didn't really...
I mean, if they're not going to state their intentions, then you might as well not give them any information. If you can't have honesty open both ways, then there's no honesty at all.
I agree with that, definitely.
Still, I don't...
Okay, I don't want to take up more of your time, though.
Oh, you're fine. All right. Well, if you see them again causing any problems, you don't see an officer around, I'll be around somewhere. Just come find me or find another officer.
Okay. Will do.
Thank you. I think I did accidentally make Aizawa, it occurred to me. Like I'm kind of leaning into that a little bit with the character because I wasn't really sure what to do with him. I think I might just be Aizawa from my hero. Which works. I can pivot him a little bit more towards Aizawa. I definitely planned for him to get his pep in his step back, get his pep back into his step at some point. But I think this whole Forge Breaker thing and just everything has just exhausted him. He's just become, he barely sleeps, probably 3 hours a night at most. He's constantly drinking coffee. I do need to go have a meeting. So the problem is, we're supposed to, okay, here's the confusing part. We're supposed to have a meeting in character that I assume we know about out of character, or in character, so we know about it. The beginning of the second hour. Is that in 45 minutes or was that 45 minutes ago? So I don't know if I missed it. I think they would have mentioned it to me had it happened, so I'll just wait. For now, I will go to the Warden Corpse Among Us, or whatever it's called. And I will finally try and get an A4 technician to come look at me. Well, that's what I was confused by. They said the beginning of the second hour was for, wouldn't that have been the first hour? The beginning of the first hour would have been at the start of the RP. So the beginning of the second hour should have been 45 minutes ago. But maybe that's just me thinking about it differently than how it should be. So I think I have time. I don't know. We're gonna go to the Warden Corpse and see if we can track down a AFR technician. Or AFR technician. Fuck, dude. Magic technician. God damn it, Rosewood. Hey, my name's Murtish Miyoshumo.
The minimum amount so that you can see something.
Any of it.
My bread should be finished rising, actually.
Not whatever.
That's what I said. I said Magic Beasts. I refuse to hear anything else. Hello, Colonel.
Okay. Yeah, one little.
What brings you here?
General, and I'm looking for
General, sorry.
someone in charge. I've been meaning to ask a question for a bit. I'm looking for
that'll be Valdris then. His office is right this way.
Thank you for the use of
he's around. Just a quick word. I'm just looking for some assistance on something.
Feel free.
He is in a meeting right now, but
That's not urgent,
his
so
office.
sure. It's not urgent
We have for
yet.
yes.
Thank you.
Even if things
I'll wait.
are very,
Sure.
If he's in a meeting, then
Like there is.
oh, there he is.
Of course.
Thank you, Iris.
Thank
Of course.
you.
General,
Of
to what do I
course.
owe the pleasure?
Personal matter, actually. I was hoping we could talk privately really quick.
Do you want to use my office?
Sure.
So
If you're offering it.
I have some coffee bread. That
I don't have any
that's
tea.
nice. If you
That's
I can
alright.
Get you some cakes.
want something that-
Sure, I won't decline.
I'll be around, Valdris.
Very well. Have a seat. How could I be of service?
It's nothing too, well, like I said, it's a personal matter. I'm looking for a good magic technician, someone who can look at Magitech or Warforged parts. Upkeep on them.
The best one I have would be soliloquy. I don't know how familiar you are with them, but they are also, they used to do work for the council. They're a trustworthy individual. Outside of them, Clink. And if you're looking for candidates, well, there's a number who are experienced. Scout, Leon, Bailey, Marcus. Good number.
Noted. You said soliloquy. Who are they again?
They are our mechanical director. They operate our vehicles and keep them up to line.
Right. Okay.
They're a warforged themselves.
Right.
In addition, they're one of Reinhold's only forge makers.
I see. Well, they would probably be the best bet. To keep it short and simple, somewhat off the record, I have a few Magitech enhancements on my body that do require some upkeep, and unfortunately my regular guy is no longer available to work with me, so I am in need of a new one. So if those are who you're recommending...
If you need any quick fixes, as well in the field, Warden Ater. He is very skilled with mechanics and biological when it comes to his repair work.
Right. Noted, okay.
But Soliloquy is the best one, if you're looking for premier work.
That would probably be the best in my case.
It's actually fortuitous that you arrived. I believe I just got a notification that Council in Blackburn has sent individuals from the Southern District up.
Probably a good idea.
Right.
My wife had mentioned that they're arriving at the military outpost here soon.
In that case, I should probably head back there. All right. Well, if you could assist me in scheduling a meet with Soliloquy, I would appreciate it. I'm not really sure what your guys' schedules are here, but having a look
I'll
over...
send them your way.
Great. Thank you.
No worries. I was just thinking,
Bad Luck Bakery. They do make the best.
Oh god, it came from there. Okay, good. Every single time, I'm pretty sure I've gotten the bad one.
I don't order those.
There's other God damn it. Alright, thank you.
All right.
Sir?
Afternoon.
Hello. Gotta let Father know.
Dirty Mono.
Does he know you're out here? No. Oh, yeah, don't tell him.
They have cheese and we have added honey.
Yes.
Thank you. Fucking, we actually did. We actually set up the meat. Soliloquy. I think our best bets there were Soliloquy, and Clink. I didn't know. I forgot about Soliloquy, but yeah, they're pretty much perfect for what we need. Excuse me. Because they like full on make the Warforged stuff. Yeah, probably best if I handle whatever this meeting is about myself. If I don't need to bring any of the others into it, then, you know. Especially Terry, I don't know if I want him here right now. Cake. We have an old radio here. Excuse me. I am perishing. Make sure they're not in here yet, like talking to Terry behind the fucking counter. I guess, yeah, it would be a new radio, you're right. Look at this brand new radio. This brand new top of the line radio. I think Soliloquy is Shan's character. I don't think they're here today, so I'm probably good to just get off the game after the meeting. Oh, they are here. Fuck. Alright. It's fine. That meeting might happen today then with them, so. Oh, I'm gonna die. I could sit during the meeting potentially. But I also play this character as a guy who stands a lot.
General, we got a visitor.
Right. I was just informed about this before. I was waiting. Perfect. Welcome.
Lieutenant Schwartz of the Southern Division, General. Well met.
Well met. Come on, we can head to a proper meeting room.
Very well.
All right.
Ah, perfect. Yeah. 3 lists we've compiled of potential suspects that we have deemed unable to have conducted the acts of the Forgebreaker. Those lists include individuals from the Anti-Forge Federation, as well as the Alliance for Magical Beings. Both groups we've had issues with in the past. Both groups, the suspects that match don't fit the description.
Interesting. Okay.
I think we can rule out that they were a Reinhold resident initially, fully at this point.
I see.
So, they're an immigrant, essentially.
That's what it seems like, yes.
Would you say they probably have any official documentation?
Well, that's hard to tell. From what I hear from you boys, that they're individual likely has some sort of proto-arms that allows them to teleport, go invisible, some shite.
Yeah.
It's very
Based on my
possible that they just
investigation,
walk
seems to
past
be
customs.
Maybe. From what I understand, their proto-arm makes a hell of a lot of noise in between the whole disappearing act. Don't know its range, though, or how long it lasts.
When I was dealing with him, he was out there invisible for a long time. So, I wouldn't be surprised if he got past security.
Still worth a check. The
Right.
intelligence
Maybe.
department is already combing through the last 4 months of individuals who have come in the city for living, for staying, for work. We're putting together a suspect list, keeping a keen eye on those who have come from Ashbourne, of which there are about 20.
Okay.
Reason being is, I don't know if it made it back to your desk, but there was blood collected at one of the scenes.
I do think I heard
We
about
have confirmed that the blood is not a complete match for the entity that was felled 7 years ago in Ashbourne. However, there are similar qualities. Crimson blood that stays crimson after drying, it was called.
That's interesting.
It's a weird little hybrid beastie, sounds like, but at least I've been a little MIA for a bit, but the last thing I heard of a physical description, it seemed to have some forged traits of its own, oddly enough. Someone who saw it close up asserted that its head seemed to be mechanical. Don't know how true that remains.
Intelligence believes that whatever they're wearing is a disguise of some sort. A sick, twisted one, but disguised nonetheless. It was reported that there was synthetic hair found at some of the scenes.
Yeah.
That was white in quality.
We got some of that.
We did a search, tried to find wigs that matched, and did locate a couple that could be used, but not from the city. There were ones that could be found in peddling caravans that travel around the waste. So whoever it is probably picked it up along the way.
So, some person who doesn't live here comes into our city with stuff from outside of our city to kill our people. Why?
That is what our detectives are having trouble figuring out.
Where's the...
I mean, clearly
where's the emotion?
They seem to have some sort of joy.
Yeah, exactly.
Their MO. The body's always twisted up, left in a rubble.
The core is...
left as a show to people.
Ripped out.
Any notable forge groups outside the city and other cities, or maybe even betwixt? Anti-forged, I mean.
There are always groups that pop up in a number of cities. Our intelligence division works with the rest of the Maxim Agreement, and as far as we can tell, outside of a larger group in Edmond, there's none that could be a potential. And we have sent a word to the general in Edmond, who is looking into their group to make sure that this individual doesn't come from Edmond.
I mean...
Permission to speak?
Sure. Granted.
Around the time that I've started after my transfer, I've only been here for about a month.
Come to the table.
Forgebreaker increased in activity, as well as there have been reports and concerned citizens reporting researchers from Ashburn.
Yeah. There have been scientists around.
The general shop owner was most concerned about that.
Yes.
There were a number of
Rolling
Ashbourne
around.
scientists who had applied for and received clearance into the city about 2 weeks ago. We're not sure what the purpose fully is, but the Maxim Agreement cleared their arrival.
Yeah.
So we assume the
Yes,
diplomats
but-
let them in for some reason.
All I said, as long as they don't start trouble, I don't
know.
really care. As long as they're not breaking in the homes,
Well-
harassing people, too bad, then, fair game, I guess. They're here.
I guess the question becomes, did they find out that their pet was here and come and try and see it?
Oh, God.
Yeah, because I'm going to be frank, I don't know a single scientist type who would have good intentions walking around city in a full clean suit.
Oh,
That's not really,
Today, I was
That's a
informed by a
that's a
warden candidate. I was informed by a warden candidate earlier that apparently the scientists were specifically asking the warden candidates questions about where they were staying. So honestly, with what happened a couple weeks ago in that fight, that could be related. If they know that the four warden candidates were the last ones to fight what they're looking for, oh, God.
Possible. It's also possible it's not related with picking at straws. Ashbourne has a lot of weird shit going on.
That's true. A lot of straws to
That's
pick through
fair,
here.
but coincidences can be stretched. It's hard to call
Yeah.
this sort of situation merely a coincidence. You think it could be
The
a
intelligence department have prepared a profile. Now, of course, this is a mock-up of what they believe based on the display. But we're looking for a average-sized male, humanoid of some variety. We're assuming that if they're in the city, they have some place to stay, which likely means they have some way to get income. So they'll likely have a job in the city somewhere. And if they're scoping out targets, looking for future haunts, places to go, it's a job that would make it easy for them to walk around the city without suspicion.
Yeah. Okay. It's also, if they are illegally, immigrated here of some sort, crossed the border without anyone knowing, that also means they've been hired by someone who didn't hire them by official means, per se, right?
Legally.
Yeah. Which could
That's
be
correct.
another good indicator. So it has to be a job that would hire under the
That's a-
table.
We do have a handful of refugees recent of the Rylan, much like that boy, the candidate who got caught doing training. It's possible they could have gotten documents to forge a refugee pass here. They could work on something like that.
No, that's a good point.
I got a pair of thoughts. If they are connected to the scientists that are, again, walking around town in full bloody clean suit, not as one of the fucking weirdest things I've ever seen. Regardless, if it is, we might need to be ready for the potential that Reinhold. What exactly felled the similar beastie from all those years ago?
In Ashbourne, it was a combined unit of military from Ashbourne, as well as the, they call themselves the Hex Corps. They're a group of odd wardens out of Ashbourne.
I have, especially with the idea that the scientists are asking Warden's candidates about the Lodgen and the, I suppose, demand of attention that the Forge Breaker has made, I would wager it's at least of reasonable concern that Reinhold is being used to test an advancement, perhaps. To see if they can outcompete the thing that killed the beastie last time. Something stronger. Better.
That's a possible theory. I would offer a secondary theory. One from Arenheim. About 11 months ago, Arenheim had a serial killer incident that led to the current conflict between Arenheim and Ashbourne. The serial killer didn't go for Forge and went for anyone could get their hands on, but it turns out it wasn't a serial killer at all, and in fact one of their experiments gone wrong that had escaped Ashbourne and made its way to Ehrenheim. Now, Ehrenheim and Ashbourne are right next to each other, so it's a lot easier to get between the two. We're a good ways away from Reinhold. But it could be a similar incident. It does read very similar to me.
Maybe.
Oh, great.
Other concern is
Ehrenheim
the
Rangers
idea that
did put that monstrosity down with a lot of gunpowder, though. So it could be killed outside of arms, thankfully.
Fortunately. The other thing that comes to mind is the idea of them potentially having a more off-the-books job.
Yeah.
Which means that might be worth asking our off-the-books mirror image a little. See if they might be able to sniff something out.
For that specific task, maybe.
I know off the record that Councilman Blackburn has had several discussions with Councilman Carbillo about the situation. Might not be a bad idea to see what their involvement in all this is if he does have a backwaters job like that.
Yeah, wouldn't be a bad idea.
I'm happy to discuss things with Mr. Carbillo. I have discussed things with them in the past.
I can handle these type of conversations.
You sure?
Yeah.
They might be more forthright with me. They trust me.
Well, I know them pretty well, so don't worry.
Fair enough.
Here are a couple of folders of the test of those reports for the bolts that they were using that were left at the scene, as well as the actual test for the blood. It does appear that it is humanoid looking, though it has traits of magical beast in it, so we're suspecting some sort of hybrid.
Right. Understood.
The bolts themselves are common bolts, could be bought anywhere, any ammunition shop sells them, but they are altered to be filled with some sort of paralytic. The paralytic is a special concoction, not one that you can find on the shelves.
We know what it's made of.
A number of different paralyzing agents, most of them fairly easy to come by if you know the right people. That sort of links it more towards the underground. Hence the conversation with Carbillo's. Some of them are synthetic, created. Ones that you would need chemical knowledge to make. Hydrobenthanol was the main one. A nasty one that includes a number of chemicals that you can't find on regular shelves.
I've had a bit of a desire to sniff around some of the more industrial parts of the city, and this is just bolstering that.
On the plus side, if he is buying bolts from any off-and-off shop, might not be a bad idea to sniff up the forge front. See if they've sold any bolts in the last couple of months.
Yeah. Okay. Well, this does help us roll down who it might be, at least by a fair amount.
It's more leads. Our expectation...
I'll also say that while the creators, our local anti-forge group, despite his status as an outsider to the town, I still think it might be worth attempting to have someone integrate into them and potentially monitor their outside communications if they have any. Wouldn't put it past a hate group to commission something like this.
You'll be happy to know that our intelligence division has already done that with both groups. That's how we were able to clear most of the suspects on the board there.
That's good. I was just considering
anything about their
how I was
outside
gonna send feedback.
communications, it seems off.
One of the groups had communications, not good communications, actually quite hostile communications, with an organization from Runewald. of all places.
Hmm.
It seems they were having a disagreement of sorts with a group that calls himself the Princesses.
Wonderful name.
Yeah, well, they're about essentially have become the Carbillos of Runewald. They're just as bad.
Lovely. I'll keep that name in mind if I ever get deported there. Right. Well, how's this looking in your head, boss man?
We have a couple new places to look for suspects specifically. We now know they're probably not here legally. Meaning, if they are here legally, they'd have to be a refugee. Or pretending to be a refugee, if they're not here legally. Or completely hired under the table.
It's gonna take a few weeks before we can actually comb through all the people who have come through legally. So if you can find anyone who is in the meantime, go for it. We'll obviously keep looking.
Yeah. I think that our next step is looking for suspects of... Unfortunately, we're going to have to look at all the refugees now. That fit the description, at least. And that might not look the best. But...
This is where my particular talents and my reputation come in handy. I never look the best. As I've said before, I've been
It's not a positive
transported
trait.
here after being deposed. I understand, but it can be. I've been transported here after being kicked out of several places. Again, promoted, demoted, that whole bag. I've acquired quite a bit of a reputation and a trail of misbehavior, as in, if you point me at refugees and have me sniff them out, that's the kind of thing that looks worse for me than it does for the military, because people expect it out of me at this point.
It's a fair play. If it does turn against us, we have a scapegoat.
Look. Just don't get into any trouble.
I'd rather play the difficult plays here, General, than not be heavy-handed enough with this.
Yeah, no.
Death on our hands.
I'm in the same boat. That's why I'm inclined to agree with it. Just don't actually get anyone hurt, don't cause any trouble, but if you want to be the bad cop in this case, you are the best bet.
That's what I'm good at.
Well, you're not going to be underfunded anymore. The Blackburn Arsenal is providing a number of armaments to the main branch here.
Well, that's greatly appreciated.
Councilwoman Blackburn essentially told me, write them a blank check and get them every damn weapon they need to kill this man. So you tell us what you want, General, and we'll make sure you have it.
I'll come up with a list.
We already have ammunition being sent here that'll arrive probably later this evening, as well as extra riot gear for the festival. We assumed you might need that ahead of time.
Yeah.
We're still preparing for that.
I have a proposal that might not be all that complicated. It seems that it's not teleporting, at least from what we know, it's going invisible. So what we could probably make use of is, rather than shooting it on sight, we use the slim opportunity we have to mark it.
It's actually funny you mentioned that.
Uh-huh.
There's a device out of Douglas that we've actually purchased some patent for. It's called a chaff grenade. Doesn't do any damage. It's specifically meant to be used against specialists who are hiding. There is a bunch of shiny powder in an area. Reveals anyone who's sitting around invisible.
That'll be useful.
Beautiful. Resolves my other solution of just filling a balloon up with powder and of flour and water. Right. Delightful.
It'll take about 3 weeks for it to get here.
That's fine.
So hopefully we solve it before we need it. But it's on its way.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I will keep at least 2 balloons full of flour and water on me on standby then.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Something to think on.
Something else to consider when you are out there searching, trying to find another suspect. He hasn't been seen in, what, 2 weeks now? It's been? So...
A little over now, yes.
Yeah.
Didn't he?
That means he was fucked up really bad in that fight. Somehow he got treated, or he treated himself. Either someone treated him or he treated himself, but either way he was treated at some point, and he's still, if he's still alive. We didn't find a body, so I'm assuming he didn't just crawl into a corner and die after that fight.
No bodies found in alleys as of recent match the description.
Yeah.
That's what you're asking.
If he's already working with the underground,
But
then
intelligence
it's likely that
did
he's working
search
with underground medical.
just to be sure that no one was admitted into any hospitals with similar sounding wounds. Intelligence also made sure that we didn't lose any medical personnel to kidnapping in the past 2 weeks. So far, none of those have been true. So
somehow he was
either
treated.
got help on the underground or helped himself.
We might be looking at a sawbones operation.
My point is, if he can treat himself, that's a bit of a specialty, a skill that I wouldn't have expected him to have. But that does mean he has more experience, and that means that we have more people, more, I suppose, rules to look at when we start looking for a suspect. Someone skilled enough to treat themselves.
Now, granted, if he is some sort of freak hybrid, who knows, he might just regenerate.
That's true.
Possibly.
If that's the case, do we even know it's proto-arms he's using and not just something else?
That is part of the worry. So I know we've seen these shock marks and a number of different attacks. However, based on what the wardens have told us, they believe the core the individual has is just one singular dark core, no lightning core.
That's unusual.
And looking at the blood that they're connected to, we believe they must have some sort of electricity-based magical beast that's been fused with them.
Oh, God.
Them doing the whole shocky thing tends to be associated with the sound of a gunshot. Any magical beasties out there sound like they fit the bill for that?
That'd be more of a warden question than an us question.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Either way.
Maybe some evolution of the electric pod, though. I've seen those before.
Yeah. That's a whole different can of worms. All right. Do we know if the wardens are already aware of this potential of it being Magibeast? Or do they need to be informed?
I believe at least the Warden General might be. I'm unsure about any of the others in the Warden Corps. But it couldn't hurt to disseminate this information. A lot of this intelligence profile hasn't been given to the Wardens yet. It's all under your purview.
Right. I'll try and come up with what I think we should tell them immediately. I also just don't want them overstepping and having... To be honest, the shit show that happened 2 weeks ago, I don't want that happening again.
Yeah, we had another incident in the Southern District. 2 Promethean units were accosting a individual they believed might be connected. Turned into a whole argument.
Oh, great. Yeah, no. Can't have that keep happening.
I'll ask around, sniff around refugee areas. And just to be safe, I'll see if I can't maybe have a few plainclothes conversations with a few sawbones. See if they have anything they'd be willing to spit up.
Have to think of potential jobs.
If there's any other avenues you want RID to look into, I'll let them know.
I mean, really, we just need confirmation on whether this guy is here illegally or not, because from there we can...
Then I'll get our intelligence boys to keep looking into that. While you work on the ground, and if you need more supplies, just let us know.
Yeah. Realistically, we just need to roll this down a little bit further so that way we can actually not be looking into, 1,000 times more people than we need to be looking into. We'll never find him that way.
It's fortunate, at least in the last operation, it seems there were no civilian who got caught in the crossfire.
Thankfully.
But I can't imagine having to send all these kids back out to fight for us. If we can gun this guy down ahead of time, that'd be preferable.
No, I have zero interest, if possible, in letting the warden candidates handle the takedown of him again after what happened last time. At least not without a better plan that actually has a method of capture that isn't just beat him half to death until he leaves. We need a proper...
Youth is wasted on the youth and all.
Need a proper method of capture, otherwise those warden candidates out there are just going to get themselves killed. That's the main thing we need to think about. How can we actually capture him?
We'll include, We don't have the chaff grenades, but we do have trank guns that we used on some of those animals that got loose. We can supply a number of extra of those, see if we can knock them out.
Can knock out a bear. Think he can knock out a hybrid?
It's worth a try.
I mean, one shot could knock out a bear. Maybe 100 will take down a hybrid.
Yeah. And that, and setting up a trap. Obviously, we can't just expect to catch him again if he does strike again. We can't just, catch him in the act
That's
by
probably
chance.
Gonna need some aid of some of the wardens. Maybe even some of the townsfolk. I imagine a number would be
My
willing to help
thoughts-
prepare some stuff.
I've been considering
My thought
it.
was somewhere indoors, naturally.
To be a
Somewhere, he can be boxed in.
building with no windows, preferably.
I mean, the first place I can think of is the school building. They have that large indoor arena.
Do we think we could get him to go in there, though?
Yes, that depends on how... Well, I know the principal over there keeps that place locked up like a fortress, but if it looked like he could get in there, and he's looking for cores, it's one of the most core-heavy places in the city.
I have a thought process.
Yeah, I do too, but it's not good.
Wardens had their, trip and fall on their asses situation 2 weeks ago. And I don't know. Maybe I can play up the, cocksure pseudo-celebrity drunk shtick. And we can make him think that we're sloppy. And we don't know what we're doing. That we don't have a plan. He seems like the type to get cocky real fast.
His MO reads a bit childish, actually. At least
Yeah.
based on
Exactly.
intelligence profilers
Especially
see.
what they were doing with those dolls.
He starts to
According
think
some
he's
of the
winning.
candidates, yeah. So some of the candidates, he received some dolls as a gift that he actually seemed to genuinely enjoy and think they were a real gift.
He starts to think he's winning. I bet he'll play to whatever tune that we want him to.
We just have to find a way. Yeah, I know, I agree. That gym, I was in there. That is massive. And it would be the most secure place to do this. If we could somehow convince
There's also
him.
the reason for him for going for Forge. That is been the question. In every Forge that he's gone after that it hasn't been interrupted, he's taken the Forge core from. We theorize he may be needing those cores for some reason.
Right.
So,
Here is
that
my
would
proposal.
completely change this entire scenario if it was just...
We play the clown a little bit, and then, once we feel like he might have gotten a bit of a confidence boost after getting his ass kicked before, there happens to be an event in the arena. And that event, we advertise as, being completely Forge Breaker proof. He thinks he can do it.
Do we think that he would
He thinks we're idiots. I think he would if we made him confident enough.
I'm not sure how much of a fool I'm willing to play if it's going to end up in this failing and us actually being the fool.
There's also the difficulty that comes up of if he becomes desperate, who knows what he'll do. We have to worry about the potential of him taking hostages or other things like that if he becomes desperate. I mean, that monstrosity was not intelligent and Ashbourne, but clearly this man is.
Maybe
I have no idea what his plans are.
this
That's an
festival,
avoid,
right? The festival upcoming, you said. Sort of slipped my mind about just what's going on, but we could potentially use that.
It's coming up here shortly. Here in the next few weeks.
Yeah. What if... Well,
there are already people coming into the city for the festival.
What if we...
Warforged from other cities.
We could set something up in the arena, as long as the arena isn't being used for the festival. Maybe in the school we say that we're to keep Warforged safe during the festival. Some people have chosen to go there, maybe. Make it seem like it's a secret, but we let it slip.
Maybe we make it less direct, more subtle.
Yeah.
Make it something like a meeting for Grieving Forge during this time.
Yeah.
Knowing the school's secure, they can all come there knowing it's safe.
And then we just
Make it a
also
challenge.
emphasize how most of the warden candidates will be actually busy during the festival outside of the school. It's not a bad plan if he falls for it.
My main fear is if he stays cautious, I don't think we're ever going to beat him. He's got to be confident, and then we have to hit him fast when he is confident.
Yeah.
Because if he's cautious, he can just slip right away.
Reviewing a bunch of the reports from 2 weeks ago, it also appears he may have known about the plan before it started. Likely heard people setting up for it, thinking he wasn't listening. So it's clear he likes to sit around invisible.
Yeah. Or not invisible, and that's the bigger concern.
Also possible.
Either way. No, I think maybe we can use this festival to our advantage. When he thinks that would be the best time to strike, because everybody's going to be busy with the festival, he goes in for it. We have the arena rigged to basically shut down, close up from the outside. It's not a terrible idea. It would result in...
That's still a few weeks out, but it's still a plan for when we have the chaff grenades.
Yeah.
We'll have everything we need at that point in 3 weeks' time.
Yeah. It would result in... There would have to be some bait in there, unfortunately.
That'd need a way out.
Unfortunately, we wouldn't be able to give them one. That's the issue. If they're in there, they're in there.
Sure.
Well, not necessarily. I'm pretty sure there's at least one of the warden individuals who has a teleport skill.
Interesting.
I don't know which one it is, but I've heard rumor that one of the members of the staff there has it. So if they could get to them...
Maybe. If they can do that, then yeah, that's an idea. A few weeks out, it's a plan to...
Teleport them out, lock the room down, and then he's trapped in until we know what to do with him.
Yeah, I say room gets locked down, and we have the chaff grenades on standby, and otherwise we fill the room up with something. Something on the ground, leaves or some shit, just so we can track him and get the chaff grenade on him. Because I guarantee you, the second shit starts going awry, he is going to fucking disappear. And we need a way to keep eyes on him.
We can ask the staff if they have it all set up. We have anesthetics. We can just knock his ass out. Fume the room.
Fair.
That would be my plan. Just fill the room up. Play those grenades, play those grenades, fill the room with gas if possible. It's assuming he breathes, of course.
Exactly.
We'll need some discussion to see. That'll be probably your purview, General.
Yeah.
I know that at least from what Councilwoman Blackburn says, the principal is difficult at best.
I'm sure we can come up with an amicable agreement for this plan. After what happened last time, I think that was the least I could get out of them.
Best of luck. You do have execute authority from the councilwoman, though. If you get the shot, take it.
Oh, I will.
We also have authority, though it would be preferred if not used. The council had a meeting and discussed calling for martial law if needed. Lock down the city. But they would like to use that as a last resort.
Yeah.
In the interim, they have permitted the usage of APCs as well as tanks. We have them on standby.
If it gets out of hand...
Ideally, that would be avoided.
Yeah, no, I would really
Not only because it would be an unfortunate scenario, but because I have a hard time believing that this fella isn't attached to some sort of bigger picture. And if that bigger picture is an organization that let him loose on purpose, the last thing we want to do is show them that we need to roll out martial law and tanks to keep them under wraps. It's not a good idea.
I was going to say as well...
Go ahead.
You asked about if there's anything else I wanted you to look into. Alongside just making sure, checking the list, making sure he's actually here illegally, the Ashbourne scientists that have been going around. I want to make sure there's no Ashbourne connection, because if there is an Ashbourne connection, then the first thing I'm doing is figuring out what those scientists have to do with him.
If you mean an Ashbourne connection between Forgebreaker...
Yeah.
We strongly suspect there is one at this moment.
I need some sort of solid piece of evidence.
If nothing else, because there are no other places in Eden that create hybrids.
Yeah.
And there have been no other place that has produced monstrosities that have crimson blood. Both of those seem to point towards it being an Ashbourne creation. This Forgebreaker.
Yeah.
So I think it highly likely it's Ashbourne connected. Whether or not those scientists have anything to do with it is a whole other question to be found.
That's what I really need to figure out.
I do know that Councilman Alphen of the Maximum Agreements Diplomats accepted their visa directly. So if they were let in, they were let in with knowledge, I assume, of their intent.
Well, we need to figure what that is.
That will be a discussion with the diplomats, which RID is already looking into and being stonewalled as we usually are. It's been a contest of fighting with them.
Well,
yeah.
If we don't get it, then we can always just take matters into our own hands and take the scientists in for questioning until they tell us why they're here. But I'd prefer to do it with a strand of evidence behind why I'm arresting two scientists and putting them under questioning.
If you can get the other council members on board, you can force it out of the Councilman Alphen. You'll need 3 of them. Councilman Blackburn will already support. Councilman Erdy is neutral at all times. But Councilman Carbillo has a weight in this, as well as Councilman Saray. And they're both here in this district. If you can find both those council members and get them to leverage their ability, we can probably get some work done that way.
Yeah. I think that's what I'll do.
Here's my proposal for what I'll be doing over the course of the week, which is what I do best. Shit the military usually isn't supposed to be doing. Outside of the refugee shit, I will likely be staying plainclothes for quite a bit of time. If I see those scientists again, I will try to integrate myself with them and see if I can get any crumbs out of them in a less military way. Otherwise, keep my ear to the ground in the places where they wouldn't expect a soldier to go. Okay, that's what I tend to do. See
What's
if
your
I
rank,
can't...
soldier?
Private, sir.
can you get on the ground and look in places like the Forge Front and the other places that have been attacked? See if there's any bolts of the nature that have been sold in the recent months, as well as see if any of these places that have been attacked have had customers that fit that job description. Maybe scoping the place out ahead of time.
Yes, sir.
In the interim, I'll keep working with RID to see what other information we can glean from those who have come into the city. And then we'll stay at the ready for whatever orders you have, General.
Understood. I'll handle talking to those councilmen.
We all have a part to play.
Try and get them on board to get that piece of information out about this scientist.
Alright.
Very well.
I'll get in my plain clothes and see if anything comes up.
If you need something, radio in.
Understood.
I'll be back with the councilwoman Blackburn, making sure she's aware of the situation.
Aye, aye.
Alright.
Godspeed.
Godspeed.
Let's get this done for Reinhold.
That's the plan. Yeah.
If I may discuss something with you, potential opportunity.
Sure.
A thought occurred to me during the meeting. That past joint operation was beyond abysmal. And
Yeah.
from what I experienced on the ground, the warden candidates and some of the wardens themselves were unfamiliar with coordinating with military, as well as some of the military were unable to identify who was a warden candidate and who was a civilian.
Yeah.
The opportunity that I was proposing is potential of some type of joint education or just a session or something where the military can familiarize themselves with wardens and warden candidates and vice versa. Many seem unfamiliar with protocol as well as who is who. And right now this is a poor precedence in case of another situation calls for a joint operation again.
Trust me, I noticed.
Not a terrible idea.
Yeah, I
Maybe
think
after we talk to
it's
the
not a bad
principal.
idea. Something to talk about with the wardens and make sure they actually want to do that, but I'm not opposed by any means.
Of course. It does not have to be every warden or every warden candidate. It could be even volunteer based, even. But something is better than nothing.
Something is better than nothing.
They
I
seem
agree.
like a bit of an egotistical bunch. We'll see how that goes.
They have an important job. I get it. But so do we. Either way, you all have things to do. I have things to do. And we have a plan well, hopefully we have a plan. We have to go speak with the wardens on that. But assuming they're willing to cooperate, we might have a plan when the festival comes around, if nothing else works before then. Alright. Well, I won't keep you here talking to me any longer. At least that was a good meeting. We got some information out. I gotta put this folder away.
Aye.
I'm so tired, guys. Where the fuck do folders go? Boop. Folders away. Sorry, I'm dying a little bit.
I just want to make sure that, you know.
I don't think she's around here.
Evening, sir.
Evening.
I'll check this way.
Have you by any chance seen a young lass with a long tail and she's wearing like pinkish reddish overalls, like long white hair, ears?
Not right at the moment.
This high. Oh, okay. Damn.
Fuck, dude.
Oh well. If you do, tell her Bailey's looking for her.
Sure, I'll keep that in mind.
I tip my hat, but I don't have it for some reason right now.
Yeah, me either.
I like the hat too when I do see it.
Thanks. Oh,
Have a good evening.
you too.
Son of a bitch.
What? Damn. Is that at me? What did I do to deserve that? What the fuck, dude? Why'd I even take this fucking job, man? Why even fucking it stinks, dude. I need water, so I'm walking back. It just sucks that I'm like so out of it that I'm trying to remember what I need to do. Okay. All right. I'm the general. I do general stuff. Is there any of this information that we think we want to present to them immediately, like today? I don't know. I'm debating that. I'm half tempted to get off the game, stop streaming now, and just like start working, but like get some rest and then work on more model stuff that I need to get done because I don't feel well.
Anyway, why are you scared to look at my? They're fine. They're fine. They're no poison ivy. I wasn't stupid.
Okay.
Really, in front of the
I
cadets.
think it's also
In front of the
Carbilla's.
cadets. Yes, in the cadets. We gotta establish our strength and dominance. I don't fucking know.
What was the other council person?
We'll see you at book club.
Book club. Book club. You read books?
If it keeps going, I got some tea that can help kind of soothe just some of the throat from like the coffee.
I mean, we're all going
Soothe,
through
like, the tickleness that
your
you
entire
treat
life.
puberty differently at different ages.
Yeah, I told you about,
You would have, right?
my condition.
I know about thingies.
No, about the
Yeah, like just like after puberty, and then you just keep
Meaning
going.
how sex and stuff. I forgot about that.
What's a sex?
I was talking about.
Okay, shit. All right.
Baby doesn't
Oh,
know.
no.
I thought you were old enough
You can step in the hospital.
What type of babies? You mean like the ones that I make? I don't know if I can make babies.
General.
Like how normal people make babies.
Yeah,
I don't know how normal people make
Majority of
babies.
the okay.
Feel free to.
Yeah, I was actually looking to talk to you.
Okay.
I'll explain it to you.
Means
Okay.
I was informed by Mr. Walsh that you wanted to have a conversation with him.
Yeah.
Is this a private matter?
Yeah.
Somewhat.
I can gather.
Where would you prefer?
Let us stay. Let us speak in the car below office. Should be the best way to do it.
Update on their
Be sure to keep it a lot of quiet and have a little private space.
Yeah.
Yeah, I should be fine with that.
The reason why I'm asking, does this potentially involve our two scientific gentlemen that I've seen at the start of the day? Of course.
Understood.
Means
Evening.
For the sake of it, money, I'm going to have a conversation with the general. Is book club still happening?
Yes.
I will try my best to be there, and I'm not quite sure how people might react seeing me walk through the door, but I hope it will not cause any problem.
What's
I am sure it will be okay.
What's book club?
Club.
What is book club?
It is a club where we get together and read stories that we
Oh.
have written.
Well, that's nice. Might come by and look at it, if that's
Would
alright.
you like to join?
Maybe, if I'm free.
Understood.
Potentially have the military general and
Yeah, that would be.
Carbilo in the same room together in this entire thing.
That would be pretty funny.
I do have to say, you're full of surprises.
I gotta have something to do that isn't just work. It's a very tiring couple months at this point.
That part, that must be swamped as much as I am, so...
Yeah, you have no idea.
No, I very much am aware that you are probably as busy as it can be. Specifically now that the aspect of the Forge Breaker now being sort of underground again after being so peaceful for a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
Now then, by all means.
On that topic, just real quick, has there been any sort of news on the Forge Breaker on your end in the last couple days?
When it comes to me, over the course of the couple weeks, specifically due to the aspects of the medical, when it comes to any sort of clinics that might be both legal as well as, and I say this respectfully and confidentially between us both, illegal within Reinhold, there are no hits. Nothing.
Interesting.
If he is in any way, shape, or form doing his own thing, he is either having a very secretive assistant, or he is able to regenerate very quickly on his own.
Yeah, that's the current running theory, I think, unfortunately. Specifically, there's a new theory going around. This. Not sure what you're aware of this already. I figured I should share it with you. Might not be exactly normal. Which, I mean, obviously. But there's some suspicion going on. If he is able to regenerate, then that obviously means something.
Right.
But that's hardly the reason that we believe this at the moment. Either way, there's some suspicion of the Ashbourne involvement in it.
Makes sense by the fact that they're sending two scientists who have also been sanctioned by the scientist branch of Reinhold.
They've been sanctioned here and
Soon as
allowed
I-
here for reasons currently not being known to us, might I add.
And can I be very blunt? Even to you, you're the military general.
It's being stonewalled by the council member that let them in. I need free council member approval to get him to force it out of him from the conversation I just had. Meaning I need 2 more people. If you're council member,
If
get
you're
on board.
allowing us, for the sake of my trade and for the sake of the obvious connections that I might possess, allow us to have this information as well. I'm pretty sure, knowing Mars, he might be very much interested in the entire aspect that Ashbourne is. Even
forgot
if
who
he
the other
might
one
not
was.
be available currently, I could potentially have a conversation to see if he is
Yeah.
willing to work. Gentlemen.
Shall we take this to private quarters?
Oh shit.
Gregory,
Yeah, we should
General?
take it somewhere else.
Yes, itself it is a very important conversation. If you wish to do so, do it in the back, or feel free to join us, either or.
Nah, of course. The 2 of the scariest guys
We'll be
I
out
know.
shortly.
Either way, yeah. We need to force it out of him. We need to get that council. I can't remember which council member was it. Whichever fucking one it was, I'll get it to you. But one of the council member who let him in isn't letting any of that information get out to anyone else about why he did it. Whoever let them in, they're approved, diplomatically approved to be here, but the reason why isn't being told to us or anyone else. So I need 2 more council members' approval, and then we can force it out, and then we can find out why. And yes, once we get that information, I'll make sure it's shared with you. Your council member would assumedly be told, so it would be shared with you anyway.
I will have a conversation with Mars about this. But also the aspect of it is the fact that if a council member is so secretive about this entire thing, he's not even willing to inform the military general about the aspect. With all due respect, I know you are very much fresh within your position compared to the other gentlemen that I had before you. But you're not an idiot. You're able to shut up if it needs to. It worries me by the fact that the councilman does not have that trust in you.
Yeah. The main point is they don't have the trust in anyone. The reason that these scientists are here, and if it's the reason I think it is, and it has to do with the Forge Breaker, then they're not going to want to let anyone know that information. I'm not sure how much you're aware, but Ashbourne, they are known to do certain types of experiments. Previous incidents in the past.
I have heard through the grapevine about the lengths that Ashbourne is going to do. I'm not stupid, I understand that.
The blood, as well, of the Forge Breaker. It stays crimson.
It does not change color as soon as it leaves the body.
No, it stays bright red. So yeah, I'm starting to doubt that he actually went to an underground hospital, and he did just heal himself.
So the way how I'm seeing it, you're potentially thinking that the Forge Breaker is a escaped experiment from the Ashbournes?
That's the theory.
If that's the case, then how much information do we have about his arm? Is it even an arm at all? Just a weapon?
That's exactly what I was just asking.
Consider...
What is believed, at least what I heard, is that he also doesn't have a lightning core. Yet he uses lightning abilities. From what they know, at least.
An innate thing.
Meaning it's biological. Like the lightning pods. Yeah. Which is why I want to get the information out about why those scientists are here, because I don't want to just arrest them and start asking them questions.
Like the lightning pods? Are you sorry to be quite blunt. Are you potentially thinking that this might be a magic beast?
Not fully.
Well, it seems that this is definitely a creature that is able to at least be sentient, speak, or at least smart enough to create inventions to be communicating with all. Either we are having the most scariest thing imaginable running around in our city, which is a hyper-intelligent magic beast is able to use arms. Or, which sounds weird to say, is this maybe an individual with, like, powers relating to magic beasts?
An experiment. But again, I don't know the full details. It's just been implied to me that it's happened before.
I know Ashbourne can do fucked up shit. I'm very much blunt when it comes to that, but the entire aspect of working on magic beasts.
Yeah.
It's
it's a whole thing. Right now we're trying to rule out, though, besides that point, we're trying to rule out right now who he could be. We're suspecting he's not part of any organizations, anti-Warforged organizations or anything. He doesn't appear to be affiliated with any of those so far, it looks like. We're suspecting at the moment that he is here illegally, or as a refugee, or pretending to be a refugee.
I was able to do my own research when it comes to the anti-Forge group. When it comes to my men, we have investigated and done a little bit of, how do you say this, looking into people's personal lives. Sure, they follow the group, but in itself, their lives are in itself quite mundane. A lot of the timelines do not match up of any of the strikes against the Forge. Sure, the individuals might be more in not batting an eye over the fact that some forged individuals are dying in our street due to the obvious, but they're certainly not our killer.
Yeah. Well, here's a question. When he kills his victims, he takes their cores. Mangles their bodies too, of course, but he takes their cores. He always takes the cores when he's done. The question is he taking their cores as a trophy or as something else? Is he killing for the intent of killing and taking their cores as a trophy for his victory? Or is he killing with a purpose, a hunt? And it's not a prize.
That is something.
But instead, a necessity.
That is something that I've been wondering myself as well. The aspect of it being, if there would be a way that I would want to do, if it would be possible without sacrificing a forged, be the idea of if there is any way, shape, or form, I would be able to track, if specifically a design, to place a trap. Essentially, all we'd have to do is place a designer core that has been allowed for us to track, and once that is the case, all we have to do is follow him straight to his hideout.
Could we put it in place of someone's actual core? Trick them into thinking he's killed them, taken their core. But they might die in the process still, even if we do it right. The question is, will he go for a core that isn't in a person? If we do a showcase of, these are some spare, rare cores, we leave them unattended for a moment, he steals them, would he go for the robbery? Would he steal the cores if they were just sitting there? Or is that no fun to him? Does that fit his MO? Will he just take cores, or do they have to come from something that's currently using them?
In the end, all we can do is see if he bites. In the end, all we can do is lay the cheese and see if the mouse is interested.
Yeah, I mean, I'm currently laying out a plan, but it correlates to...
I might have an idea.
Yeah, my plan won't be possible for a few weeks.
Do you remember the invention that was stolen a couple weeks ago?
Right, something along those lines, yeah.
I might be have.
We'll be stepping out.
Victor,
Need anything?
feel free to. I'm good. Should be fine on my end. Also, when it comes to, pardon me, when it comes to Mr. Horo, the man who is in charge, or at least running together with the Reinhold Chronicles, if he should be in the entertainment district in the future, either today or the next couple weeks, next time he's drinking, tell him due to today being his birthday, he is allowed to drink on our tab. Would not be having to worry about it. See, it is
Very
a
good, boss.
respectful gift by the Carbilos.
Understood. I'll let him know.
Thank you so much, Victor.
General.
When it comes to us, though, I might be, due to my own work, having a interesting lead into the situation of the stolen invention.
That would be useful.
In itself, we are in itself close there. It might be part of a gang. The problem is we're close. But as much as you might want to have your own input, I request of you to please stay away from this situation. Again, the trap is set. We might be able to get it. I understand you wish to step in for your own sake as military, but we're close.
My priority right now is on the Forge Breaker, catching the Forge Breaker, so honestly, you can get away with whatever else you want right now.
Good to know. Thank you. Regardless, one, if we're able to get the invention, we could potentially put it in as a showcase. And if we're able to get it as a showcase, that might be able to potentially use it as a trap. See if the Forge Breaker bites. If he does not, then by all means. From what I heard, the invention itself seems quite interesting. Overall, we're just promoting a prestigious and inventory mind of Reinhold. But if it does work, we're able to figure out a way to potentially track the design cores within that invention. Might be leading us directly to him.
Potentially. Yeah. I'm currently trying to set up a trap for him, but I don't want to get into too many details, considering this fucker can go invisible. And he's been...
I'm aware of that.
The main problem is...
Believe me, I need to understand as well, but I need to also take a little bit of a risk by openly talking to you about this. In the end, we could just assume, yes, he could be right in this very room right now, and he could assassinate us at any given point. The problem is the fact that if we have starting to have that type of paranoia, he's already won.
Yeah, it's just about being careful with your words, that's all. And my words as well, I'm just saying. But, yeah, no, I know.
I understand.
I'm not too worried about him right now. I'm actually suspecting that... Well, I don't know what to suspect, because he knew about our plan, supposedly, before we went out. 2 weeks ago. Meaning either he was listening in invisible, or he was listening not invisible. And that one scares me a lot more.
The way I see it, we're starting to learn more and more about him every single encounter that passes. I can safely say from in my position, the 2 weeks of the Forge Breaker not taking any victims has helped calm the minds of Reinhold a tiny bit.
Yeah.
The problem is the issue that once he starts killing again, Reinhold is going to go back into that anxious phase that it
once
was
he
before.
tries to kill again.
I would not hope that it ever gets to that another person dies, because regardless, if he reveals his ugly face again, we all need to worry.
Yeah. That's why I'm hoping to get a suspect, or suspects found.
If all goes well, and we're able to work on this, I might be able to get the invention by next week. Again, happy thoughts potentially, but I would hope to have my men be at least somewhat competent in figuring out the situation. Once that is the case, my advice would be talk together with Lazarus, me, and you on the situation.
Yeah.
Valdris has his own mind, but Valdris also is more focused on the aspects of, well, his cadets, and I'm sure other
Yeah.
more Walrus-related things. That man is a vault when it comes to information. Sometimes worrisome, because sometimes I feel like he's not telling either one of us certain information that could be quite important.
Maybe.
Regardless.
Either way, yeah.
Lazarus, you, me. From that point onward, we can see how you're going to act. Maybe we can list one of the wardens who might be able to have more tracking sense in their abilities. Because if we're able to find a core, a designer core specific, even if it's a case of the fact that, oh, he figures out we're chasing him, we would be able to figure out it's the direction that he's going. Anything that leads us closer to either a hideout or directly his location as well. Anything at this point. Because we don't have a lot of chances left without the masses going in complete hysteria. Already had a couple of them in... Already had a couple of people in Western Rhino talk to me. Some of them are potentially... How do we say this? Some of them are thinking of moving into other cities, the maximum agreement. They worry that the wardens, the military, are not capable of holding down one singular person.
Well, it doesn't sound like he's a person.
It's not me trying to put more pressure onto you.
I know.
This is more, again, keeping my ear to the ground as a voice of the city.
First and foremost, we're going to take him down. We have leads, we have methods, we have ways now. The most important part is that we just know how to capture him. That's been the hardest part, is figuring out how can we capture a person who can not necessarily teleport, but move super quick, go invisible.
Definitely some aspect of it.
How do you capture
It's just a
something
way
like
of figuring out how to lay a trap.
Yeah, we have
the walls. Make sure every single wall is impenetrable by putting as many wardens into one place as possible. The aspect of the last trap was the fact that it was held in the open. Just take the roofs. You just jump over wardens. He goes invisible and then fucks off. If we were to able to find him in a condensed room, make sure that any sort of walls would be able to be shut off, where all he has is the room, himself, and the people inside it. That in itself might just be enough.
Trust me when I say
Detach the rat
that's
in
the plan.
cage, not in the wild.
That's the plan I've made, but it takes a few weeks for it to be ready, and the worry is we need to be able to catch him before then.
I have an idea. I know you have your own ideas, but again, if we were to use the invention idea, we have the festival coming up. But potentially a trap there. And potentially a sponsored Cabillo, a big inventors fair for all the people who wish to have the creation shown, no matter if it's mechanical or design core based.
Our plans are not that far off.
To me, it sounds like a feast to him.
It depends on what he wants. That's the question, is what the fuck does he want? That's the one thing that nobody really knows. Does he want the cores? Does he want the people? What does he want? The hurt people? What does he want? Is this a cry for fucking attention?
Attention he's gotten already, quite enough.
Yeah.
The way I see it is more the aspect that takes his joy into it now. He's getting cocky. Again, last time we encountered him, we nearly had him by the aspect that he kept on jumping between districts. He was getting tired.
Yeah.
The problem is, sometimes the most successful hunters are the ones that play stupid. And I feel like, as much as it sounds weird, we need to be a little bit stupid to lure him in for security, and then we get him. Only so much we can do, General.
I know. Our plans align somewhat.
Eventually are dealing with somebody who is a magic beast.
Yeah, let's keep that part in the
Already fucked by default. Oh, I'm not telling anybody.
I just wanted to make sure you were aware of that before any of your men get into trouble they don't need to be in. That they don't expect to be in, I should say.
Genuinely appreciate it. The way how I see it, you're definitely a general who has had a little bit more brain than the other ones beforehand. I was getting worried on the aspect of that, so it is noted for the future.
Just doing my part.
At least the only person who will know about that specific fact is my head of security for obvious reasons.
Yeah.
But
I'll also be
we
informing
kept on the down low.
Valdris in a bit.
Do so, General. And of course, if you ever need, the Carbellos do have their hired muscle on standby. One word and they're yours.
Only if he kills every single man in the military first. It felt important that he knows that he might be a magic beast, because that's way worse than dealing with arms.
What district are you out of? Like, which one?
Kind of hard to say. I'm sorry.
What do you mean it's hard to say? Just tell me which one.
I don't want to, because I feel like my boss would lynch or say something if there's like an HR report or something. I don't know.
What are you saying that you must check? What do you mean? Did you just lock your mouth and throw the key away?
I think that maybe you should unlock your mouth and, tell me whatever the fuck you're talking about.
It has been several hours.
Yeah, go get it. Yeah, that's okay.
Is that the key?
Yeah, I know.
He threw that bitch far.
What's happening?
He dropped it. He's trying. He locked his mouth. And he. There you go. You can breathe now.
Sorry.
So what exactly are you doing that you can't talk about?
I have a little bit of an issue with my boss. There's already problems with the other co-workers, kicking a little bit of sand on some hoping people over there. And it brings bad reputations to the company. Boss, as always, I know, son, if you can help us, please.
Is this Yeah, I feel like this is probably some labor laws being broken. Yeah, like I feel like you're describing some serious violations of labor laws within the city. So yeah, just go ahead and file a report.
It's kind of rough when they are like eagle eyes on you.
Where's your boss? I can go
Taking this chance. My job is on the line just by speaking to you, sir. Please.
I get it.
Please.
That's what the council members do to me.
That's not what are you talking about? I don't.
If I didn't have those signs today, they wouldn't even make me have a train back.
Show him your cup.
You're the general of the. This is not the same thing. You cannot. You are not. This is not the same scenario, right? This guy's the fucking general of the wardens, and this guy's a construction worker. You can't just be like, I get it. I'm there with you, man. That's not the same job. It's not even this. You can't even like correlate those.
If they offer you,
What is happening?
make sure you have
I'm sitting down.
your feeding hours, please.
Apparently, I'm signing paperwork for the festival that
Oh, okay.
Ernie doesn't want to touch.
Great.
No, I haven't.
Have an interesting visitor today.
So, Roderick, where you come from?
Yes.
Why? Okay, are you? By the tone.
Hey, you have more money than we do.
You told me he was
So why is the warden general pretending to be a blue collar worker?
They just slapped it out of his hands.
Oh no!
General picks up credits on his phone.
I don't see anything. I don't see anything happening right now. What? Sorry, I'm very busy right now.
General violence. I want to see it.
There you go.
I wonder who would win. Which general would win? What do you reckon?
I always win.
Keep space.
Seize muscles.
All right, maybe I will go beat his ass. Hold on.
Do you need a snack or a drink or something?
Who wins? What was that? What was that? You're saying you always what?
She's muscular.
Hey, you want to see my muscles?
That's a good
Aren't
question.
I beautiful? Aren't I beautiful?
Aren't
I beautiful?
About his shit too often.
Okay.
No, he doesn't. That makes me concerned.
Maybe I don't want that peach tea anymore.
But maybe the reason why he boasts about it.
What's wrong?
No, it's all right. The district is fine. It's just the people blocking the district.
What are you taking your head for?
No, I don't want to see that.
Anyway, are you alright?
You have to flex at least
down to
once.
the right and walk.
I better know.
Alright, good. Yeah. And again, if you if somebody's breaking labor laws, just let me know. What are you
So curve this arm this way, right?
What are you doing?
There we go. Lift it up a little bit more, and then this one.
Why are you making
You
me
keep
do
this one
this?
straight. Hey, no, this one straight. There you go. There we go.
What is happening?
See, he gets it. This is what.
Isn't that your fucking general? What's the homeless guy?
That's not my
See?
general. No. Bellatrix is mine. I don't know who that guy is. I don't know who that guy is, but that guy
This is the general of the wardens, everybody, you know, the person in charge
This is the general of the military.
And that's don't.
Stop.
They're posing together. Oh, you know what's happening? The two generals.
You believe
are gonna
this?
work it out. It's gonna be great.
It's gonna be a pose.
That's a good idea. We should have a spar. It's been a while.
I don't. I mean, we could.
Do not have the budget for the general.
It's up to you.
I just got to go some poodle impaling.
I am homeless. I sleep under a bridge.
I just don't.
He just confirmed that.
I sleep under a bridge.
He looks like he has money. He looks like he actually lives.
He has his business regalia. He's just comfortable right now.
Poodle impaling.
Yeah. And I sleep under a bridge, I'll have you know.
Right, I forgot the
These little spikes across this fence is called poodle impaling.
By choice.
Yeah, no, I think I did make the right decisions in my life.
That still applies.
Because the rich people would have poodles.
I only make right decisions in my life.
Yeah, I think you missed a few left turns, to be honest. So.
What do you mean? At what point? Yes, it is.
Little guy.
A genuine story for you.
Did you know?
I saw him carry another little guy like if he was paper.
Do you
So
have
small.
a book? Yeah, you don't. You don't have a book about you. Hey, I can
He's got
lift
a
you.
behind.
There actually might be a book about me,
Just wait for
Probably.
although it's probably a medical book.
I have the book about you.
What?
Are we doing a posing competition or something? What is this about?
What?
Oh, there they go.
I'm signing paperwork.
Someone
Oh,
said
it's
the
book
generals
night,
are having
so-
a pose off.
No, he was.
Sorry, ma'am.
General Lazarus there was making me do this with my arms.
I have just 3 more pages. I'm almost done.
This?
Thank you, ma'am. I appreciate it.
Yes. Yeah, actually, yeah. I think that's what he wanted me to do, but he had me do it weird. Like I think it was supposed to be this pose. No, maybe I don't know. I honestly could not tell you.
By the way, do you have? Is there any chance you hear this
I
like
see.
a
I
public library
understand
or
now.
something?
It's meant to
I can
exert
fax
yourself in the
them
form of
back
showing
home.
off your muscle and your
Yeah.
masculinity.
Wait. You have to fax things back
Muscles.
home. Where's home?
Yeah.
I thought you worked in the city.
You have not experienced
I work. The company is in the city.
Just write the
I
report,
live
man,
down
and bring it to the military. We'll deal with it. We'll save you.
Shirtless.
That's true, and I would prefer not to.
Okay.
Just like.
What's your name? Just in case I became homeless and have someone to blame.
General Lazarus of the Wardens.
Oh boy. Thank you.
They really did just like born of some like real person. That was fucked up.
It's. I read it. Yeah, I read it. I mean, I was doing like desert today, and one of my old buds from Aaron Hines. I'm just
I'm just wondering where it is because I've not gotten any.
So I
haven't
even
gotten
gotten
a letter from my mom saying like, hey, they're on their
just
way.
weren't interested in, that's all.
So, I mean,
Tell him curious, you know.
Cassie, that's a grown-ass man.
I'll pick him up and go.
No.
No, he's got it too. You're talking about giving it to other people. See?
Am I gonna have to start arresting people?
Again. Come on, give him these again. Come on, give
Sorry,
right now.
am I going to start arresting people?
Can't say that.
Good day to you.
Yeah, I don't know.
I didn't mean to laugh at him. I'm going to hell. Oh, Dory, man.
Stop laughing at
Yeah, don't.
older
Yeah,
people.
no. Don't slam your head on the bar, please. There's spikes.
That is how my ancestors would get got. Trust me, I don't want to go out that way too. Oh my god, there's so many. There needs to be more old people walking around.
Indeed.
What's wrong with you? He wanted the uppies.
Various different kinds of drinks.
What's wrong with old people?
Hey, can we like?
Working in a church.
Can we? Why?
I'll sit down.
Thank you. Thank you. Councilwoman, thank you.
I can't beat you in strength. I can't beat you in vulnerability. Multiple times.
Here, at least put your hand over the spikes before you accidentally slam your head.
What's
What if I just?
Oh my god.
I'll make sure to remember you.
Thanks.
Hope you enjoy your.
I can teach you if you want.
I'll make the best of it.
I'll help you. Just write the report.
I can show you how it goes.
Oh, Lazarus, thank you so much.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Gregory can't beat me sometimes. Oh my god.
Oh
my god. This is going in my short
I told him I was
story
someone
about
else.
the
I told him
woman.
I was General Lazarus, just so that way I couldn't get blamed for whatever happens to him.
What? You said you're me?
What? No, I didn't. You're You're crazy.
What did you say about me?
No, I didn't say anything about you. You're hearing things.
Why you say I'm
You're always
crazy?
hearing things. You're so old.
Sir.
People usually caress and touch
Which bridge do you slip?
Why?
You might have.
If you break my bridge, I'm breaking your crate.
Is your general high?
Talk to him like a normal person.
No, he's just like this.
I was just gonna say you might have me as a companion for tonight.
No, you stay the fuck away from my bridge. General.
No.
The warden general. I'm gonna get him. Hey. What did you call me?
Nothing. I didn't even talk to you.
You called me old. You called me old.
How strong are you? Very. I'm very happy.
Hey guys.
I know.
I can't play. I can't play things right now.
They're lifting me, Curtis.
All right.
You wanted the uppies.
Lift.
What do you want?
Let the book club see. Let the book club see.
This is ridiculous. Holy shit.
See, this is what I'm talking about. This is what I'm talking about. This is the fun stuff right here, baby. See, this is what we're talking about. What are you doing to me? What are you doing to me? What are you doing to me? What are you doing to me?
He's gonna throw him.
Where are you taking me?
Do
it. Throw me. Throw me. Throw me. Throw me.
I'm just gonna drop you down there. We're good.
Are you okay?
He's fine. I just put him somewhere it didn't look like he could get out of. He's causing some trouble.
Normal thing?
Yeah, he's causing trouble. I was just.
Oh, okay, this
yeah.
is okay. You're just conducting business. All right.
Yeah, I'm just doing. Is he actually trapped down there? Oh my god.
Their window is facing a wall. You know, you should probably maybe think about that.
I think the houses were built first before the second level.
Construction templates. They're cheaper that way.
Yeah.
Generals usually talk builders in their ear and caress the cheek, or is that like, is that normal?
Right here.
What's up?
What are you saying?
Hey, what are you saying?
He's too young.
What are you getting at?
What do you mean?
I don't know what's
I
going
didn't say
on.
anything. I don't need it.
The sentiment is.
All right, now I'm imagining things. I imagine Bailey calling him a bitch, and I imagine him, I guess, tucking hair behind the builder's ear and caressing his cheek. Like,
I would do.
maybe I'm. What was in those comments?
Are you like touch starved?
My candidates are weird.
Yeah.
My wardens are weird.
I've noticed.
Save me.
No.
Arrest her.
That's not. I can't do that. It's not. How, what crime did they? Is being weird a
Violation of me. Defamation.
defamation? I mean, yeah, that was kind of a defamation thing, but I have to check the Reinhold law to see if defamation's illegal.
You say something nice about me, I'll make you a pair of gloves.
For half
Is
off.
Defamation
is illegal.
Defamation is illegal.
But isn't that, you know, kind of part of free speech, being able to say what you want about anyone whenever you want without getting in trouble?
I also have stuff for
Maybe I should change that law.
If you're posting in a public manner and trying to pass it as truth.
Goodness, all right, fine. If you want the gloves so bad.
It's situational.
Oh boy, I'm so
That
sorry.
counts, right?
That might count, yeah.
Don't jump down!
All right, go get her. Go get her. Go on.
I'll make you a glove. I'll make you a glove for that. Appreciate it.
Why are you always up and down? Stop jumping.
That is not how I like
It's.
I feel like
Did you just make kissing noises to get their attention?
Yes.
Am I gonna have to jump down there with you?
Probably.
Jingle, 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 jingle.
Can you die quieter? I feel like I can hear you 3 times.
See, it worked on you.
Did I just? Where did that fucking? Is that a rat?
Oh my god, no.
Ready?
Oh shit, a rat.
Catch it, catch it!
There's nothing to catch.
Catch it! I'm throwing you up to the general.
Uppies! Uppies!
Big rat. That's a concerningly
Uppies!
large rat.
Yeah, I'm losing my mind. I'm just gonna. Good evening, Reinhold. I hope everyone's having a good night. There's a small problem, but we're dealing with. Oh shit! Oh hey, I got you. You're good. Just yeah, you're good. I got you from behind. I got you. You're not gonna fall. You're good. I hope everybody in Reinhold's doing okay. I apologize for any disturbances. It should all be sorted soon. Small rescue operation ongoing. Nothing to be concerned about. We're good. All right, if anyone else jumps down there, I'm arresting you. Stop. Why do you want to be in handcuffs? I was joking about the touch starved thing.
I can't avoid it.
I'm sorry, what? Can I run that by us again, General?
They keep talking about weird stuff. And they keep asking me to put them in handcuffs.
I don't know why I slouched like that.
Why are you looking? Yeah, why are you looking at your stomach, patting your
I
stomach?
don't know, it's your candidate.
Was I?
Why are you like? I'm not gonna ask you this. If you wish to put him in handcuffs, that's up to
I
you.
don't want to put them in handcuffs. They just really want to be handcuffed.
My favorite bit of the night.
No, I was. Aren't you supposed to obey the law?
Maybe they're into that.
What's that?
Maybe
Ask me.
I'm walking away. The situation is resolved.
What do you want? And the night of moons and the night of the moon.
Fuck, he's gone.
Yeah, that's one of the seven wonders of self.
Mr. Banks, good to meet you.
You want me to?
Oli,
Man, watch your struggles, how many work
Dorioli.
Figuring it out.
I could just burn it.
No. I guess.
These are Carbillo ropes. You can't.
So easy.
Magic. I did it myself.
It's open.
I'm gonna go open up the bar.
Okay.
Thank God. Open the bomb, my favorite words. Oh.
Oh my god.
The jazz bar's about to open. If you want drinks, now get them.
That's the most alcoholic statement I've ever heard.
Yep.
I need a
Okay. There should be a bar.
Yeah, there's a bar right down there.
Do you want to check out the rest of what the entertainment district had to offer?
What's that?
Dementia.
Yeah, something like that.
Sugar's what got you?
Telling me I couldn't have snacks earlier.
Well, you'll be happy to know I'm making
I've never seen an argument quite so old before.
I said, how are you, General?
I'm good. Sorry, I just heard you say General. Very loud in the street tonight. I'm good. I'm tired as per usual.
What did you
Very busy.
And he had elfish features.
That's to be expected.
I need to walk
Much like Arlo had said.
Everything,
Perhaps
all good, I guess.
For the most part, it's been a calm couple weeks. Regular crime. But yeah, everything seems pretty alright.
That's good.
Nothing to
Can you get some tarts?
What did I hear? What is
I'll
make
sure
sure she doesn't get in trouble. Yeah, I'll make sure she doesn't get in trouble. Oh my god.
Forgive me. I just remembered.
Oh my head. Oh my head. My head hurts.
I don't know what any of that
The
meant.
General picking up the other General.
Yeah, no, that he picked me up and then I picked him up. He's very strong, which I was very surprised by with how scrawny his arms are. I keep forgetting
He
that.
just picked me up.
It's unusual. Something else going on there, but you know what? I'm not going to think about it.
Towards the entertainment district.
Oh, look, if you're the district.
Okay. Well, you have a nice night.
You as well.
I don't know if it's public or anything, but I mean, chemistry.
I'm making assumptions. I don't know for sure, but I think.
It's fine. This is like normal self-gossip stuff.
Yes.
You all right tonight?
Yes, sir. I'm just trying to take some notes.
Hmm.
Private, I guess.
That's good. I'll leave you to it.
Oh, thank you.
I think we're gonna end here. I'm very tired. And if there's nothing else gonna really happen, I don't want to push myself to like do more. Fun little session, small session. Oh, hi Morph.
Hello, do you have fun with that?
That was very funny. I was good. I was like, I can shitpost a little bit. Sweet. And then I'm like,
Do you want for next session? You can be my helpful coworker.
Sweet. I'm down. Dude, I'm so tired.
Imagine you were so fucking late. I saw you in like fucking 7 a.m. for me.
Fucking. No, I've been sick. This is the first time I've been in VR since I got home from the convention. And I've been in bed like every day.
I see, homie.
Every day, all day, until last night when I finally managed to stay up a whole day.
I'm so sorry, homie.
It's okay. But I was like, fuck it, I don't want to push myself anymore. And I have to do a bunch of work. But yeah. I'm about to end my stream. You wanna be part of the end of my stream? The session ends in 30 minutes, right? So I was like, I'm probably not gonna miss anything if I leave now.
Yeah, it's last 30 minutes. Hello, everyone.
Hello, chat. Fuck, I can't turn my camera off. There's just two of me on the screen. That's okay. All right, chat. Goodbye. I'm gonna go. Oh my god, look at that. I can do
Goodbye. Goodbye. Oh, I got accessories. Oh.
That's all I got. Right, I'm ending the stream.
I can be old, I can be Caucasian.
Yeah, I do need to set up a front link Hydra. Good idea. Alright. I think I have. Hold on 1 second. Hold on.
Jesse.
1 second. Jesse, we gotta cook.
Jesse, we gotta cook.
Fuck, that one doesn't work either. Alright. Oh, fade out. Fade to black.